Hi all, welcome to Tech Time with Rick. Today I'll be reviewing the Motorola G04. Motorola's budget-friendly phone. So before I get started with the review, I just want to show you guys what you actually get in the box itself. So you get the phone itself, I can put that aside. And you get the normal paperwork, the SIM ejector, and you also get the power brick, which is great, and it's a 10 milliamp power, which is good to have than not to have at all. As you guys know, most companies have stopped providing these. And of course you get the USB-C charger for the phone itself. So for a budget phone to provide all of these necessary stuff is great. So let me put this aside and have a look at the phone itself. I've got the sea green version of the phone, and I must say it's quite a sleek looking phone for a budget phone. It's made of plastic frame, plastic back. It has one 16 megapixel camera, and that's the flash itself. The screen is a 90 Hz display, which is pretty good for a budget friendly phone, and it's very smooth because of that. On the side you get the volume rockers, the power on and off button, which also acts as the fingerprint scanner. And to be honest, I prefer the side ones compared to the on-screen display ones, because sometimes when your fingers are wet, it doesn't always register. So that's good to have the side button itself. On the bottom, you get the mono speaker, single firing mono speaker, and the connection there for the charging. On the top, which most companies have stopped doing, is you actually still have a 3.5 headphone jack, which has been great. And also because the phone comes with Dolby Atmos, I must say, listening to music with headphones on, the quality has been fantastic for a budget phone. Might just be my opinion, but it was very, very good. Back to the screen. The screen itself is a 90 Hz screen. It is 6.56 inch IPS LCD screen display. The display is very crisp and smooth. While it's not the brightest, it's still more than adequate for your daily scrolling and streaming media, so there's no problem in that side. If I also show you what you get with it, it's quite smooth, but unfortunately you do get some bloatware on the OS itself. And the good thing about the OS is Android 14 straight out of the box, so that's good to have. Like most budget phones seem to have like outdated OSs, but this one comes with Android 14 out of the box. But like I said, you do get some bloatware, but it's easy to remove. You just go to the app info, and it's easy to install. So that's the good thing about it. And if you used to stock Android, I think this is as stock as you can get from a third-party developer. Okay, that's the screen itself and the OS. The performance for a phone, it's not been bad at all. Unlike most other phones, this one comes with a different processor itself. It comes with a, from what I can recall, it's the Unisoc T606 chipset, which is a 12 nanometer chipset, which is very old. So of course they had to cut some corners, and I presume the chipset is one where they've cut the corners. But for your daily use of using Netflix, scrolling your social media, I had no issues at all. And that's about it from the performance side of things and the way the phone is built. Well, I'll put some specs on the side for the phone itself for you guys to have a look at. And as you know, with my phone performances and reviews, I tend to look at the camera quality and the gaming side of things. Of course, this is, as you know, it's a 12 nanometer chipset, and I think it's one of the ones that's a budget chipsets that we've used. Not really seen it much out of phones, but we'll see how it compares to we're using gaming wise for Android gaming, and also from a point of emulation. We'll see how far it goes. And also we'll look at the camera side of things. So first thing I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to show you how the phone performs when using this as a gaming phone. Of course, it's not going to be a gaming phone, but we'll show you what the limitations are of this phone and what you can actually play, because there are some stuff you can easily play on this phone, which I was totally surprised by. So okay guys, let me just show you a quick clip of how the gamings are performing. See you back in a sec.
Contact with enemy. Enemy down. Enemy contact!
We're losing this fight. We tied for the lead.
Contact with enemy! Tango down.
Predator missile on standby.
Reloading! Target's in sight!
Get ready.
Keep passing cars. Let's start. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yes! Woo-hoo-hoo! Yes!
Okay guys, that was the gaming side of things. As you can see, being a budget phone and having a weak processor, this does struggle with your normal gaming. Of course, you can play the games on low settings. For example, as you can saw with Call of Duty, you can play that to a degree. But of course, with Genshin, it really does struggle, so you can't play Genshin Impact on this at all. However, from a emulation point of view, I was quite surprised to see that it does work well with the PSP games. And of course, on the same settings, it works well. If you want to bulk up by 2 times, it still does work on majority of the games, but obviously, PSP wise, you can easily enjoy your library for what you have already. Regards to Dreamcast, it does struggle quite a bit. I'm not sure why that's the case, but it does struggle. Again, I think it's the fact that the process itself is not widely used, so the games, the developers can't utilize it as well as, say, the Snapdragon ones or the MediaTek processors. But overall, PSP runs well. Beside that, I think you will struggle to pay most of the emulation unless you go back to the NES ones, for example, or the Game Boy ones, which you'll have no problem with. And that's not bad still for a budget-friendly phone. You can still play some games. Moving on to the next stage, I'm going to show you how the camera and the video side of things work on this budget phone, and we'll get back to you in a mo. Okay guys, that was the camera side of things. Let me know what you guys think of the picture quality and the video recording. Obviously, video recording is not going to be great because of course it doesn't have any optical image stabilizers or digital image stabilizers. So you can see it's a bit shaky. The photos itself is not bad for a budget phone, so you can take photos with no problem. Of course, you have to be a bit more steadier when taking shots. But overall, the picture quality is not bad, as you can see with the comparisons that I just put across for you guys to take a look at. So overall, I can give you a quick recap on the phone itself. So for my usage, for the last 2 weeks I've used it, it's not a bad phone. It's great for someone to have as a backup phone, or if you're one of your kids need a new phone, I think this is a very good phone to have, because for one, it's very cheap. Another one is well built, and it does all the basics you need and you want from a phone. It does have, of course, some drawbacks. Being a budget phone, they've used a cheap processor, and of course it's a 12 nanometer processor. It's quite not as good as the newer one that we have. It does have only 4 gigs of RAM. However, it does come with RAM boost. If I can just quickly show you across. There you go. This is the RAM boost option, because it utilizes the RAM itself to increase the speed. So you get options of 1 gig, 2 gig, or 4 gig. Obviously, I would just stick to the 4 gig to speed up the phone. Over daily usage, it still does tend to shutter a bit and slow down here and there, but on a day-to-day basis, you wouldn't notice it as much. Again, the music on this with headphones, the fact that it has Dolby Atmos is very good. I was quite impressed by that side of things. Camera, you can use it for a quick snap and not a problem. The phone is quite bright, well, bright enough on a daily basis to use and on a sunny day. But of course could be better. Of course, you still have to remember it's still a budget phone. And of course it has a 5000 milliamp battery, which is fantastic. And I must say the battery has lasted quite a long time. I had over 6+ hours screen on time, so it's very, very good battery. Being a very old chipset, it works well. The only thing I would say, it's not great. I'm not sure how long or how many more OS updates they'll provide. But at least it's got Android 14 straight out of the box, so that's something got one of the latest Android OSs at the moment. Unfortunately, this doesn't have 4G, sorry, it doesn't have 5G network capabilities, which is a shame. But again, if you're just using it as a backup phone or a basic cheap phone, it still has 4G, so it can easily make calls and still have fast internet outside. The charging is a bit slow. So of course, even though it's provided, I guess suppose it doesn't make much difference, because you can charge it overnight. For the fact that you have a big 5000 milliamp battery, it works well, and you can charge it overnight, so it's not an issue there. But obviously, if you're running low on battery and you haven't charged overnight, then there might be an issue there of charging the phone quickly. My take, I say, for what it is, it's a fantastic bargain, and it's great for you to have as a backup phone, or even your daily driver. Say if you're worried about having expensive phone get damaged, and being very careful when you're taking the phone out. If you have something like this, you can just not worry about it. Just chuck it in the bag, chuck it in your pocket, and not worry about it at all. And it's still well built. So over the week 2 weeks I had used it, not many scratches at all. So that's the good thing about it. So I think that's about it from our point of view. It's a very good phone for what it is. And would I recommend it? Yes, I would. But if you want it as a backup phone, or if you just want a quick phone, or for a kid's phone in general. So that's my review for the Moto G04. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys back on the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.